please welcome up Liu Huiming from Tencent Xuanwu Laboratory. Okay, so my job to help him out as his assistant is to look for volunteers to take a selfie. That's not that hard to volunteer for, right? How many do you need? Oh, just one? Okay. Well, it'd be boring if it was me. So, do we do that now or later?
Later.
Okay, I had one job to find him a volunteer. Okay. So please, someone think about it. All right, go ahead.
Okay. Hello everyone. I'm Huiming Liu from Tencent Xuanwu Lab, and now I will present you a new mobile threat model, Resident Evil smartphones Wombie Attack. In our demo, the virus of mobile phones will spread like the zombies, just like in Resident Evil. If one smartphone got bitten, it will attack other phones. In case you can't understand the demos, we will have a brief overview about the whole process. Then the real demo time. Then we will talk about some technical details. Finally, let's make a conclusion about our threat model. Imagine this. The attacker has its infectious. First, the attacker has its infectious attacker phone, and is close to your phone A. If your phone A is likely vulnerable, and it will connect back automatically to the attacker's phone, and the attacker will make your phone A another infectious zombie. They will turn red. Now you are enjoying your coffee at KFC or Starbucks. After finish that, you might go back to your office and meet your colleagues or boss. And now, if they have another vulnerable phone B, the phone B will be attacked just like the phone A. And but in our demo, we will just steal a picture from phone B. It is more easy to understand and it's more interesting. After that, when you get back to the coffee shop, maybe Starbucks, KFC, the attacker can find you and get the image from you. Now it's a real demo time. I need a volunteer to take a selfie with me to demonstrate what I'm doing. So
this is my job. Volunteer for a selfie. You know, I volunteered to be hypnotized before. That takes a lot of guts. Come on, it's just a selfie, people. I take too many. I can't be the volunteer here. I'm just gonna pick one. All right? I'm gonna pick the guy right there in the vest, in the white shirt. Yep, you. Yeah, hey! I don't know why, with the way the lights are set up, he's the person I see first every time I walk up here. I don't know why. I feel like the teacher who just picked the kid who didn't want to raise their hand. Thank you. And what's your name, sir? Jack Francis. Nice to meet you. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know why every time with the lights, do you see how you just kind of stand out? I don't know why.
When I open the attack's phone, which is dreadful, I'm turning it on the AP mode. Then the phone A, your phone A, will connect automatically to it. Now you can see the Wi-Fi status. I didn't touch it at all. So then I just visit some website. Maybe it can be silent, but now I just alert a message to let you know that the phone is pawned. Then I stopped the AP mode of the first attacker's phone. Now you can see the third phone. The third phone is connected to a maybe unknown Wi-Fi, and now I visit a website in it. Now the phone B is attacked just like the phone A. Finally, when your phone A come back to your coffee shop, let me plug into the attacker's phone. You can see. Wait a moment. We just get the photo just taken from this black phone to this red phone. This is my demo. Thank you. Now let's continue our presentation about some technical details. First, we will talk about the reason why we patch our firmware and the method to patch our firmware. Second, we will talk about wireless zombie implementation. And finally, we will make a conclusion. Why we want to patch the firmware of our phones? In a word, we want to launch Karma Attack on a smartphone. Karma Attack is, let's have a brief overview of the Karma Attack. If you have ever connected to a Wi-Fi, your devices will frequently send probe requests to find it. You probably know that. Many devices will automatically connect if get correct responses, which is very easy to forge when the devices send directed probes. Then the devices may become the middle victims. When you connect to your Wi-Fi in your house and leave, and when you come back, your devices will connect to the same Wi-Fi automatically. But here we will create a rogue Wi-Fi and make you connected to my Wi-Fi automatically. But how about on latest smartphones? Many devices will automatically connect it, but how about on latest smartphones? Latest Android versions won't send directed probe normally. However, all of them will send broadcast probe. So we can use SSID dictionary to launch Karma Attack 2. And still, add a network manually will still send directed probe. And that is easy to forge and make your client automatically connect to my Wi-Fi. And some ROMs will send directed probe mistakenly in normal status. So now many devices and many Android devices will become the middle victim. But how about being an attacker? As we know, Wi-Fi chip on smartphones can be both in station and AP mode. And smartphones are essentially mobile and of massive amount. So if we can make the victim attack and infect another victim, the situation will be much worse. So we begin our research. We first reverse engineering the firmware, and we patch the probe request handler and patch association request handler to make the phone infectious. How about first we want to patch probe request, but the probe request is in the U code. It is in the ROM of the Wi-Fi chip, so it is hard to modify. So we just patch one line in U code to forward it to firmware, and we hook some method in firmware and call some function to generate template. Then we modify the destination and SSI destination MAC and SSID. So now we forward correct probe response to the client. But in order to make the AP work properly, we maybe must patch association request handler too, because you just send the probe response is not okay. You can now still can't associated with my IP. So we must patch the association request handler. On Nexus 5, it is very easy. In the firmware, there are just some jump out code and some checks. We just patch them, and we make the Nexus 5 infectious. Now, how about in Nexus 6P? We found that all required information elements, parse function pointers are stored in the array dynamically created in firmware. It is in RAM. And information element SSID parse function is implemented in ROM. As we know, ROM is hard, nearly impossible to modify. So we choose to modify the firmware instead of the ROM. So we hook a function in firmware and implement a SSID parse function. Finally, we replace the original parse function pointer with our new function pointer. So now we can manage to patch the firmware in Nexus 6P. Here, thanks to the Nexmon, a C-based firmware patching framework, it really simplifies our work. Finally, we managed to patch the firmware of Nexus 5 and Nexus 6P. But we just implement the patch in these two phones. You can still work with many other phones and make them infectious. It is possible, and I think it is very easy in this way. Let's talk about the whole Wombie Attack process. Step 1, we launch Karma Attack to man in the middle other phones. Step 2, we get our remote code execution by exploiting the vulnerabilities in the victim's smartphones. Step 3, we get root access and modify the firmware and set the attack environment. Step 4, the victims infects another victim. And what's inside wireless zombie? There's a background AP, so we can't see the AP mode is turning on, as you will see often in your phone when you're turning on the AP mode. Then there's a main in the middle module and an exploit and environment setup module. It is more tricky, and I will not talk about more details about it. The next question is how to get remote code execution and root. The answer is Android fragmentation. According to Google's latest data, I just checked it yesterday. All our Android devices are running, half of all Android devices are running versions 5 and below. And more than 20% of them are running Android versions 4 and below. So it is quite easy to find many vulnerabilities in current Android devices. Let's talk about the impact of our threat model. First, we can launch invisible attack with our threat model because it doesn't rely on internet to spread. You can see I didn't connect to any Wi-Fi here. I just let the phone infect each other. And the second is it is a magnifier, attack magnifier. And it can make the low-level vulnerabilities more easier to exploit and cause more severe consequences. For example, we can combine with the KRACK. The attack the way to attack WPA2. Because KRACK attacks preconditions can be satisfied with within our attack model. And its preconditioning are clone. The first is clone original Wi-Fi to a different channel and monitor, block, and send specific message. In the KRACK attack, it is message 3. So we can use Nexus to intercept packets and we tested it. We running TCP dump in monitor mode and air-based NG in the same time. So we can just get the packet and send packet in the same time. But the exploit scripts are not released now, so we just can't implement the real demo. So KRACK attack to WPA2 can be combined with our Karma attack to launch and spread more easily. Finally, let's make a conclusion. First, Karma attack to smartphones is very dangerous due to Android's fragmentation and the smartphone mobility. Second, to defend against this attack model, we must working with system security, wireless security, and hardware security. Finally, there's no absolute security. Apart from the vendor's effort, the users also need to pay more attention. For example, try not to connect to open Wi-Fi. Thanks to my colleagues for their help. That's all my slides. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, and thank you, Jack, for volunteering. That selfie turned out great. Any questions? It's always towards the end of the day. Nobody has any more questions. Oh, where's the man who was recording everything? Is he gone? Oh, you moved for a better seat. Do you have a question?
Yeah, I have a question. Actually, it looks like all those capabilities are Android,
Yeah.
For my iPhone and for most.
We didn't implement the demo, but it is also vulnerability. It also has many vulnerabilities. But we just implement it in Android because it is easy to do it.
You were the teacher's pet, weren't you? Front and center every class, huh? Yes, that was him. All right, thank you so much. Thank you.